The message arrived at dawn on Colony World Hanul 7. General Hun Jiwoo stood in her office, watching the twin suns rise over the settlement below. She held a data tablet in her hands. The words on the screen glowed red. It was a demand from Emperor Krell of the Valthor Empire. Surrender or die. Jiwoo read the message 3 times. She had expected this. Krell wanted her world. He wanted all human worlds. The Valthor Empire had been swallowing planets for decades. They crushed anyone who refused to bow. They burned cities. They took prisoners. They showed no mercy, but Jiwoo was not afraid. She put down the tablet and looked at her reflection in the window. She was 40 years old. Her black hair was pulled back tight. Her uniform was clean and perfect. Scars marked her hands from years of battle. She had fought in 12 major wars. She had never lost. Behind her, the door opened. Lieutenant Park Minho entered. He was young, only 25, but already one of her best officers. He saluted. "General, the council is waiting." Jiwoo nodded. She picked up her tablet and followed him down the corridor. The command center was deep underground. It was built to survive orbital bombardment. Steel walls, thick doors, emergency systems everywhere. The council chamber was full. 20 officers sat around a long table. Commander Kim Yuna was there. She was Jiwoo's second in command. Tough, smart, loyal. Captain Lee Daiho commanded the fighter squadrons. Major Choi Hyeri ran intelligence. All of them looked worried. Jiwoo stood at the head of the table. She did not sit down. "You have all seen the Emperor's message," she said. Her voice was calm. "He wants our world. He wants us to surrender our weapons. He wants us to become slaves." Nobody spoke. They all knew what happened to planets that surrendered to Krell. The people became workers. The resources went to feed his war machine. Freedom died. "What are our options?" asked Yuna. Jiwoo tapped her tablet. A hologram appeared above the table. It showed their star system. Hanul 7 was highlighted in blue. Beyond it, in the darkness, red markers showed Valthor ships. Krell has sent a fleet, 30 warships. They will arrive in 6 days. If we fight, we might hold them off for a week, maybe 2. But reinforcements from Earth are 3 months away. We cannot win a straight battle. "Then what do we do?" asked Daiho. Jiwoo looked at each officer in turn. "We send a message back. We tell Krell no." The room erupted. Officers shouted. Some said it was suicide. Others said they should at least negotiate, buy time. Maybe Earth could send help faster. Yuna stood up. "Quiet!" she yelled. The room fell silent. She looked at Jiwoo. "You know he will not accept refusal. He will come for you personally." "Yes," Jiwoo said. "He will. And you are ready for that?" Jiwoo smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator. "I am counting on it," she sent the reply that afternoon. Just one word, no. The response came 12 hours later. It was not from Krell. It was from his head assassin, a creature called Vex. The message was simple. "You will die in 3 days. Your head will decorate the Emperor's throne room." Jiwoo showed the message to Yuna and Minho in her private office. "The Phantom Triad," Yuna said quietly. "He is sending them." Minho looked confused. "What is that?" Yuna pulled up files on her own tablet. 3 faces appeared. They did not look human. One had gray skin and 4 arms. Another was covered in black scales. The third had no face at all, just smooth white bone. "These are the Emperor's personal killers," Yuna explained. "They have murdered 23 planetary leaders, 12 generals, 47 senators. They have never failed. They can move through walls. They can blend into shadows. They can kill a person before the guards even know they are there." Minho swallowed hard. "How do we stop them?" Jiwoo stood at the window again. "We do not stop them. We let them come." "What?" Minho almost shouted. "General, that is crazy." "Is it?" Jiwoo turned to face him. "Think about it. Krell wants to make an example of me. He sends his best killers. Everyone in the galaxy will hear about it. But what if his killers fail? What if they die instead?" Yuna's eyes widened. She understood. The Emperor loses face. Other worlds see that he can be beaten. The rebellion spreads. "Exactly," Jiwoo said. "But we have to make it spectacular. We have to make sure everyone knows what happened." Over the next 2 days, Jiwoo prepared. She did not hide. She did not increase her security. Instead, she announced a diplomatic summit. She invited ambassadors from 12 neutral worlds. She wanted witnesses. The summit was held in the Great Hall on the surface. It was a beautiful building. Glass walls, high ceilings, gardens all around, completely exposed, completely vulnerable. Perfect bait. Minho was nervous. General, this is too dangerous. You are making yourself an easy target. That is the point, Jiwoo said. She was calm. She had planned every detail. Yuna had positioned her best soldiers throughout the building. But they were hidden. They wore civilian clothes. They pretended to be servants and guards and technicians. Each one carried concealed weapons. Each one knew exactly what to do when the attack came. The summit began at sunset. Ambassadors arrived in fancy ships. They wore expensive clothes. They talked about trade and peace and cooperation. Jiwoo smiled and shook hands and played the perfect host. But her mind was elsewhere. She was counting minutes, calculating angles, waiting. The Phantom Triad would come at night. Assassins always did. They would strike when she was most vulnerable. Probably in her quarters. Probably when she was alone. The dinner lasted 3 hours. Speeches, wine, fake laughter. Finally it ended. The ambassadors went to their guest rooms. Jiwoo said goodnight to her staff. She walked alone to her quarters on the 3rd floor. Her room was simple. A bed, a desk, a window overlooking the gardens. She did not turn on the lights. She sat in a chair facing the door. She had a pistol in her hand. She waited. Midnight came, then 1 in the morning. Then 2. Nothing happened. Jiwoo did not move. She barely breathed. She was a statue. A trap waiting to spring. At 3 in the morning, the temperature dropped. Frost formed on the window. Jiwoo felt it before she saw anything. A presence, something wrong in the air. The door did not open. But suddenly they were inside. 3 shadows. They moved like smoke. The gray one with 4 arms. The scaled one with claws. The faceless one with blades. They thought they had caught her sleeping. They moved toward the bed. Silent. Deadly. Professional. Jiwoo spoke from the darkness. Wrong room. The shadow spun toward her. But they were too late. Lights exploded throughout the building. Alarms screamed. Soldiers poured from hidden doors. Yuna's voice echoed through speakers. All units engage. Lockdown complete. The Phantom Triad realized their mistake. This was not an assassination. It was an ambush. They had walked into a trap. The general was not a victim. She was the hunter. And they were the prey. The gray one lunged at Jiwoo with all 4 arms. She fired twice. The shots hit center mass. The creature stumbled but did not fall. It was fast, so fast. But Jiwoo was faster. She rolled under its attack and came up behind it. Another shot. This one through the skull. The creature collapsed. The scaled one tried to escape through the window, but Minho was already there with a plasma rifle. The blast caught the assassin mid-leap. It screamed once and fell 3 stories to the garden below. That left the faceless one. It was the most dangerous. It could phase through walls, through weapons, through almost anything. But Jiwoo had prepared for this. The room was lined with dampening fields, technology stolen from a Valthor ship years ago. The assassin could not escape, could not vanish. It stood in the center of the room, trapped, cornered. For the first time in its long life, it felt fear. Jiwoo walked forward. She holstered her pistol. She pulled out a combat knife. The blade gleamed in the emergency lights. Tell me, she said quietly, did Krell really think 3 assassins would be enough? The faceless one did not answer. It attacked. Blades flashed. Jiwoo moved like water. She deflected, dodged, countered. She had trained for 30 years. She knew 1,000 ways to kill. The fight lasted 90 seconds. When it ended, the faceless assassin lay dead at her feet. Jiwoo was breathing hard. Blood dripped from a cut on her arm. But she was alive. She had won. Yuna burst into the room with 12 soldiers. She saw the 3 bodies. She saw Jiwoo standing over them. She smiled. What now, General? Jiwoo looked down at the corpses. Then she looked at Yuna. Her eyes were cold as ice. Get me 3 boxes. Nice ones. And someone who can write in the Valthor language. I have a message to send to the Emperor. The preparation room was cold and sterile. Medical equipment lined the walls. Bright lights hung from the ceiling. 3 metal tables stood in the center. On each table lay the body of a Phantom Triad assassin. General Han Jiwoo stood in the doorway. She watched as the medical team worked. They were preserving the heads. Special chemicals, cryogenic containers. The process took hours. Jiwoo waited patiently. Commander Kim Yuna stood beside her. "The ambassadors are talking," she said quietly. "Word is spreading fast. By tomorrow, every planet in the sector will know what happened here." "Good," Jiwoo said. "That is exactly what I want." "The Emperor will be furious." "Yes, he will." Yuna looked at her friend. They had served together for 15 years, fought in 4 wars, saved each other's lives more times than either could count. "Jiwoo, you know he will come for you himself now. This is not just about our planet anymore. You made this personal." Jiwoo finally turned from the doorway. Her face showed no emotion. "He made it personal when he sent assassins to my home. I am just returning the favor." The medical team finished their work at dawn. 3 heads sealed in clear containers, each one preserved perfectly. The gray skin, the black scales, the smooth white bone, they looked almost alive. Almost. Jiwoo had the containers placed in ornate boxes, black wood, gold trim, Valthor symbols carved into the sides. She wanted Krell to understand the message. She wanted him to see his failure wrapped in beauty. Then she wrote the note. Her handwriting was perfect. Careful. Each word in the Valthor language spelled correctly. Lieutenant Park Minho translated while she wrote, "Send better killers next time." She signed her name at the bottom. General Han Jiwoo, commander of Hanul 7. Then she added one more line. A human saying. "Old words from Earth, we do not fear death. We make death fear us." The boxes were loaded onto a diplomatic shuttle. Captain Lee Daeho personally piloted it to the neutral zone. There, a Valthor courier ship waited. The exchange was quick, silent. The Valthor captain looked inside the boxes. His face went pale. He said nothing. He took the boxes and left immediately. Jiwoo knew the message would reach Krell within 2 days. Then the real war would begin. She used that time to prepare her defenses. Major Choi Hyeri brought updated intelligence reports every hour. The Valthor fleet was still coming, 30 warships, but now there were more. Krell had added 10 additional ships. He was sending his personal guard, his best troops. This was no longer a simple conquest. This was revenge. Jiwoo gathered her officers in the war room. The hologram showed the approaching fleet. Red markers moving slowly through space. 6 days until they arrived. Maybe 7. "We cannot fight them all," said Daeho. "Our fleet has 8 ships, 12 fighter squadrons. Against 40 Valthor warships we will last maybe an hour." "Then we do not fight them in space," Jiwoo said. She zoomed the hologram to show Hanul 7 itself. The planet rotated slowly, mountains, oceans, cities. "We bring them down here, to our ground, where their numbers mean less." Yuna nodded. "Urban warfare. Use the terrain. Make them bleed for every street? Exactly. But first we need to make them want to land. We need to make them angry enough to come down instead of just bombing us from orbit." Minho looked confused. "How do we do that?" Jiwoo smiled. That predator smile again. "We send another message. A worse one." Over the next 3 days, Jiwoo ordered her engineers to build something special. A monument in the city center, 30 feet tall, made of steel and stone. It showed a human soldier standing over a fallen Valthor warrior. The human held a sword. The Valthor lay dead at his feet. At the base of the monument, they carved words in both human and Valthor languages. Here stands humanity. Unbowed, unbroken, unafraid. Jiwoo made sure images of the monument were broadcast across every communication channel. She wanted Krell to see it. She wanted him to understand. Humans were not prey. They were predators too. The response came faster than expected. On the 4th day, a transmission arrived. Not a message. A live video. Emperor Krell himself appeared on every screen across Hanul 7. He was massive. 8 feet tall. 4 eyes that glowed red. Armor made of black metal. Behind him stood hundreds of soldiers. His throne room was enormous, dark, filled with the spoils of conquered worlds. General Han Jiwoo, his voice boomed. "You have insulted the Valthor Empire. You have murdered my personal servants. You have mocked my authority. For this you will die. Your world will burn. Your people will serve in chains for 1,000 generations. I will eat your heart while you still live. I will make your death last for days, and when you are finally gone, I will erase every trace that humanity ever existed on this planet." The transmission ended. Silence filled the command center. Everyone looked at Jiwoo. She was calm. She had expected this. She had wanted this. "Record my response," she told the communications officer. "Send it on all channels. Make sure everyone in the galaxy can see it." The camera focused on her. She stood straight, her uniform perfect, her face showing no fear. She spoke clearly, simply, every word meant to cut. "Emperor Krell, I received your message. I was not impressed. You sent your best killers. They failed, they died. Their heads are on your desk now. Look at them. Remember them, because soon I will send your head to join them." She paused, let the words sink in, then continued. "You want to burn my world? Come try. You want to kill me? I am waiting. You want humanity to bow? We bow to no one. Not to you. Not to anyone. We are humans. We do not surrender. We do not retreat, we fight. And we win." Another pause. Her eyes stared directly into the camera. Directly at Krell across the void of space. "6 days from now, your fleet arrives. I will be ready. My soldiers will be ready. This planet will be ready. Come if you dare. But know this. You will not leave alive. Your empire ends here, on this world, at my hands. I promise you this." She stepped closer to the camera. Her final words were whisper quiet, but somehow more terrifying than any shout. "I am General Han Jiwoo. Remember my name, because it will be the last thing you ever hear." The transmission ended. The communications officer stared at her. "General, that was incredible," Yuna whistled low. "You just declared war on the entire Valthor Empire, personally." "No," Jiwoo corrected. "I accepted the war they brought to us. Now we finish it." The message spread like wildfire. Within hours, every planet in 12 sectors had seen it. Humans cheered. Valthor commanders raged. Neutral worlds watched with shock. One small human general had challenged the greatest empire in the galaxy. Nobody knew what would happen next, but everyone wanted to see. On Earth, the military council held an emergency session. They debated sending reinforcements. But Earth was 3 months away. By the time help arrived, the battle would be long over. All they could do was watch and hope. On other human colonies, volunteers began gathering. Young soldiers, old veterans, anyone who could fight. They wanted to help Hanul 7. They wanted to stand with Jiwoo. But space was vast. They would not arrive in time. Jiwoo knew she was alone. Her 8 ships, her 12,000 soldiers, against an empire of billions. Against 40 warships and who knew how many troops. The odds were impossible. Any sane person would surrender, would run, would beg for mercy, but Jiwoo was not interested in mercy. She was interested in victory. She spent the remaining days preparing. Every weapon was checked, every soldier trained, every position fortified. The cities became mazes of traps and ambush points. The mountains were filled with hidden bunkers and artillery positions. The entire planet became one giant fortress. Minho found her on the 5th night. She stood alone on the command tower roof, looking up at the stars. Somewhere up there, the Valthor fleet was coming. Death was coming. War was coming. "General," Minho said softly, "can I ask you something?" "Yes. Are you afraid?" Jiwoo was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Yes, I am terrified. Every soldier who says they are not afraid before battle is a liar. Fear is natural. Fear keeps us sharp, keeps us alive. Then how do you keep fighting?" She looked at the young lieutenant, saw herself 20 years ago, young, uncertain, desperate for answers, because fear is not the end. What matters is what you do with it. You can let it paralyze you, or you can use it. Turn it into fuel, into anger, into determination. I am afraid, but I am more angry than afraid, and anger makes me dangerous. Minho nodded slowly. I understand. Good, because tomorrow the fleet arrives. Tomorrow we show Krell what happens when you make humans angry. We show the galaxy what we really are. And what are we? Jiwoo smiled. That same cold smile. We are the storm, and Krell is about to learn what that means. The Valthor fleet arrived at dawn. 40 warships dropped out of hyperspace like metal monsters. They filled the sky above Hanul 7. Each ship was enormous, miles long, bristling with weapons, carrying thousands of soldiers. The morning sun reflected off their dark hulls. They looked like death itself hanging in orbit. General Han Jiwoo watched from the command center. The main screen showed the fleet in perfect detail. She counted each ship, calculated their firepower, estimated their troops. The numbers were worse than she expected. Much worse, Commander Kim Yuna stood beside her. 43 ships now. He brought reinforcements. Scanner shows approximately 80,000 soldiers, 300 fighter craft, orbital bombardment capability that could glass this planet in an hour. But he will not use it, Jiwoo said calmly. How do you know? Because I know Krell, I studied him. He wants to make an example of me. A bombing run is too quick, too clean. He wants blood. He wants suffering. He wants everyone in the galaxy to watch me die slowly. As if answering her words, a transmission came through. Emperor Krell appeared on the screen. His 4 red eyes blazed with hatred. His voice shook with rage. General Jiwoo, I am here. My fleet surrounds your pathetic little world. You have one chance. Surrender now. Come to my flagship. Kneel before me, and I will kill only you. Your people will live as slaves. Refuse, and I will kill everyone. Every man. Every woman. Every child. Choose now, Jiwoo stepped forward. Her response was broadcast not just to Krell, but to every ship in his fleet. To every planet watching. To the whole galaxy. Emperor Krell, I have an answer for you. Come down here and take it from me yourself. If you are brave enough, Krell roared. The sound was inhuman, terrifying. You dare? You dare challenge me? I am the Emperor of the Valthor. I have conquered 500 worlds. I have killed 1 million enemies with my own hands. You are nothing but an insect. Then step on me, Jiwoo said. Her voice was ice cold. Come down here, face me. Prove you are more than just words and threats. Prove you are a warrior and not just a coward hiding behind his fleet. The transmission cut off. For 5 minutes, nothing happened. The fleet hung silently in orbit. Jiwoo knew what Krell was doing. He was raging, destroying things in his throne room. His commanders would be trying to calm him, trying to suggest strategy, but Krell was beyond strategy now. She had hit him where it hurt most. His pride, Lieutenant Park Minho spoke quietly. General, he is going to come down. You know that. Yes. Is that what you want? Yes, in space his fleet wins. On the ground we have a chance. A small one, but a chance. Major Choi Hieri pulled up new data. General, sensors detect movement. 12 landing craft launching from the flagship. Each one carrying approximately 2,000 soldiers. They are heading for the capital city. Jiwoo nodded. Alert all units. Battle positions. This is it. The landing craft entered the atmosphere like falling stars. Fire trailed behind them. They were massive, each one the size of a city block. They descended toward the capital in tight formation. Precision, discipline. This was not the Emperor's full force. This was just the first wave. A show of strength. Captain Lee Daeho commanded the defense fighters. 8 squadrons, 96 small craft against an empire. General, permission to engage? Negative, Jiwoo said. Let them land. We want them on the ground. But General, let them land, Captain. Trust me. The landing craft touched down in the plaza outside the capital. The ground shook. Buildings trembled. Ramps extended. Soldiers poured out. Valthor warriors. Each one 7 feet tall, covered in battle armor, carrying plasma rifles and energy blades. They moved in perfect formation. Thousands of them. They filled the plaza. They marched into the streets. The city appeared empty, silent like a ghost town. The Valthor soldiers advanced cautiously. Their commanders knew something was wrong. This was too easy. Where were the defenders? Where was the resistance? They reached the monument, the statue Jiwoo had built. The human soldier standing over the fallen Valthor. The soldiers stopped. They stared at it. Some snarled. Others raised their weapons. One commander gave an order. Destroy it. That was when Jiwoo sprang the trap. The buildings exploded, not with bombs, with soldiers. Human troops burst from every window, every doorway, every rooftop. They had been hiding, waiting. Thousands of them. They opened fire from all sides. Plasma bolts, bullets, rockets. The plaza became hell. Valthor soldiers fell by the dozens. They tried to form defensive positions, but there was no cover. The plaza was a killing field. Jiwoo had designed it that way. Every angle covered, every position exposed. The monument stood in the center like a prophecy come true. Yuna commanded the western flank. She led 500 soldiers through the buildings. They moved like ghosts. Hit-and-run tactics, strike and fade. The Valthor troops were stronger, better armed, but the humans knew the terrain. Every street, every alley, every hiding spot. Minho commanded the eastern flank. His troops used the underground tunnels. They appeared behind enemy lines, planted explosives, disappeared before the Valthor could respond. It was chaos, beautiful chaos. The battle raged for 2 hours. The Valthor soldiers were good, well-trained, experienced. But they were fighting an enemy that refused to fight fair. The humans used every dirty trick, every advantage. They were not trying to win with honor. They were trying to win. Period. Jiwoo watched from the command center. She directed troops, called strikes, adjusted positions. She was everywhere at once. Her mind worked like a computer, calculating, predicting, always 3 steps ahead. Then everything changed. A new landing craft descended, bigger than the others. It landed directly on top of the monument, crushed it flat. The ramp opened, and Emperor Krell himself walked out. He was even bigger in person, 9 feet tall. His armor was black as night. In his hands he carried a massive war axe. The blade glowed red. Behind him came his personal guard, the Imperial Death Squad, 50 of the deadliest warriors in the Empire. They had never lost a battle, never retreated, never shown mercy. Krell's voice boomed across the battlefield. Jiwoo, come face me! Or are you the coward? The fighting slowed. Both sides watched. This was no longer just a battle. This was personal. This was about pride, about honor, about who would break first. Jiwoo left the command center. Yuna tried to stop her. General, this is insane. He will kill you. Maybe, Jiwoo said, but I made him come down here. I brought the Emperor himself to my world. That is already a victory. Now let us see if I can make it a bigger one. She walked into the plaza. Alone, she wore no armor, just her uniform. In her hand she carried 2 things, her pistol and a human combat knife, simple weapons, basic weapons. But in her hands they were deadly. Krell laughed when he saw her. This is the great general? This small creature? I expected more. Jiwoo stopped 50 feet from him. You talk a lot for someone who sent assassins instead of coming himself. Those were servants, expendable. Now you face the Emperor. Now you die. We will see. Krell raised his axe. He charged. The ground shook with each step. He was fast. Impossibly fast for something so big. The axe came down like a falling mountain. Jiwoo rolled aside. The blade struck stone. Sparks flew. The ground cracked. She fired her pistol. 3 shots. Center mass. The bolts hit Krell's armor and bounced off. He laughed. Pathetic. But Jiwoo was not trying to hurt him. She was testing, learning. The armor was strong, but not perfect. There were gaps. At the joints. At the neck. She just needed to get close enough. Krell swung again. Jiwoo ducked. The axe whistled over her head. She ran between his legs, slashed with her knife, cut through the armor behind his knee. Not deep, but enough. First blood, Krell roared. He spun, faster than she expected. His free hand caught her, lifted her off the ground. His grip was crushing. She could not breathe, could not move. He brought her close to his face. His red eyes burned. I will enjoy this, he said. Jiwoo smiled through the pain. So will I. She still had the knife. With the last of her strength, she drove it up. Through the gap in his armor, under his chin. Deep into his throat, Krell's eyes went wide. He dropped her, staggered back. Green blood poured from the wound. He grabbed at the knife, pulled it out, looked at it in disbelief, then looked at her. Impossible, he whispered. You are just human. Jiwoo stood up, breathing hard, bruised but alive. That is your mistake. You thought just human meant weak. It does not. It means we are survivors. It means we adapt. It means we never give up, ever. Krell fell to his knees. His death squad started forward. But Jiwoo raised her hand. Behind her, thousands of human soldiers appeared. On the rooftops. In the streets. All around. All aiming weapons. The death squad stopped. They were good. But they were not stupid. This many guns would kill them all. Krell coughed. More blood. He looked up at Jiwoo. You won nothing. My fleet will destroy you all. Maybe, Jiwoo said, but you will not see it. You die here, on a human world, killed by a human soldier. Everyone will remember. The mighty Emperor fell, and humanity stands. Krell tried to speak, but no words came. His red eyes dimmed, then went dark. He fell forward, dead. For a moment, nobody moved. The Emperor of the Valthor Empire lay dead in a human city. Impossible, but real. It happened. They all saw it. Then Jiwoo's soldiers cheered. The sound was deafening. They had done it. Against all odds. Against all logic. They had won. Their general had killed an emperor. The cheering stopped when the sky turned red. Every soldier looked up. The Valthor fleet was moving. All 43 warships repositioned themselves, their weapons charged, energy readings spiked across every scanner. They were preparing to fire, to burn the entire planet. General Han Jiwoo looked at the body of Emperor Krell, then at the sky. She had killed their leader. Now they would kill her world. She had known this might happen. But knowing and seeing were different things. Commander Kim Yuna ran to her side. "General, we need to evacuate the city. They are going to glass us." "No time," Jiwoo said. "Those weapons will fire in minutes. We cannot save everyone." "Then what do we do?" Jiwoo was quiet. Her mind raced. There had to be something. Some way. Then she saw it. Krell's personal landing craft. Still sitting on the crushed monument. Still powered. Still connected to the fleet network. "Get me into that ship," she ordered. "Now." Lieutenant Park Minho and a squad of soldiers cleared the way. The Imperial Death Squad still stood near the craft. They had not moved, had not attacked. They just watched. Their emperor was dead. Their purpose was gone. They were lost. Jiwoo walked past them. They did not stop her. She climbed the ramp into the ship. Inside was luxury. Gold walls, rich fabrics. This was how an emperor traveled. At the front was the control center, computer systems, communications array. Everything connected directly to the flagship. Major Choi Hyeri was already there. She was the best tech specialist in the human forces. Her fingers flew across the alien controls. "General, I can access their network, but I cannot stop the bombardment. The command codes are too complex." "I do not need you to stop it," Jiwoo said. "I need you to send a message. To every ship. To every soldier in that fleet. Can you do that?" "Yes." Broadcasting now. Jiwoo stood before the camera. She was covered in dust. Blood stained her uniform. Bruises marked her face. She looked tired, but her eyes were fire. She spoke clearly, simply. Every word meant to cut deep. "Valthor Fleet. This is General Han Jiwoo. Your emperor is dead. I killed him. His body lies in our city square. He came to conquer us. He came to make us slaves. He failed. He died. Alone. Defeated. By a human." She paused. Let the words sink in. Up in orbit, 43 ships full of soldiers heard her, saw her. Some would be angry. Some would be shocked. Some would not believe. But they all listened. "You can fire your weapons. You can destroy this planet. Kill millions. But it will not bring him back. It will not erase what happened here. Your mighty emperor fell. The entire galaxy saw it. Everyone knows now. The Valthor Empire can be beaten. Will be beaten." Another pause. Her voice grew harder, stronger. "But you have another choice. You can leave. Go home. Tell your people what happened. Tell them the truth, that humans do not fear you, that we will fight you at every turn, that your empire is built on lies and fear can be conquered." She stepped closer to the camera. Her final words were quiet but somehow louder than any shout. "Leave now, or stay and die. Because if you attack this planet, you will not destroy us. You will unite us. Every human world will rise up. Every colony will rebel. You will face not just me, not just Hanil 7. You will face all of humanity. And we are billions, and we are angry, and we never surrender." The transmission ended. Silence filled the ship. Yuna climbed aboard. She looked at Jiwoo with amazement. "That was either the bravest thing I have ever seen or the craziest." "Maybe both," Jiwoo admitted. She sat down heavily. Her body ached. The fight with Krell had taken everything. but she could not show weakness. Not yet. Now we wait. Either they leave or they fire. Either way, we did everything we could. 5 minutes passed. The longest 5 minutes of Jiwoo's life. The fleet stayed in position, weapons still charged, ready to fire. One command and Hanul 7 would burn. Then something changed. One ship broke formation, a cruiser. It turned away from the planet, engaged its engines, and jumped to hyperspace. Gone. One ship leaving, reported Hyeri. Wait. 2 more. 3. They are leaving. Jiwoo stood up, walked to the window, watched as ship after ship departed, some slowly, some quickly, like they could not get away fast enough. The fleet was breaking apart. Not all of them, but enough. In 10 minutes, 20 ships had left. Then 25, then 30. The remaining vessels held position, but they did not fire. They just waited. Uncertain. Without Krell, without clear orders, they did not know what to do. Captain Lee Daeho contacted from the Defense Command. General, the remaining ships are powering down weapons. They are requesting communication. Put them through. A Valthor commander appeared on screen. He was old. Scars covered his gray face. His voice was tired. General Jiwoo, I am Commander Thane, 2nd Fleet Admiral. The Emperor is truly dead? Yes, I can show you the body if you wish. Thane shook his head. No, I believe you. I saw the fight. We all did. You broadcast it to the fleet. Every soldier watched their Emperor fall. He paused, seemed to struggle with words. This changes everything. Yes, it does. The Empire will not accept this. There will be others. They will come for revenge. Let them come, Jiwoo said. We will be ready. Thane almost smiled. Almost. I believe you will. You are a true warrior, General. In another life we might have been allies. Perhaps we still can be. This war does not have to continue. Krell is dead. His reign of terror is over. Your people can choose a new path, a better path. Perhaps. But that is not my decision. I am just a soldier. I follow orders. But there are no orders now. No Emperor. No command structure. Just chaos. Thane looked tired. So tired. I am taking my ships and returning home. We will not attack your world. You have earned that much. But I cannot speak for others. The Empire is vast. This battle is over. But the war may just be beginning. I understand. Thank you for your honesty, Commander. One more thing, General. May I ask you a question? Yes. Were you afraid? When you faced Krell alone? Jiwoo thought about lying, about saying no, about maintaining the image. But she decided on truth. I was terrified every moment. I thought I would die, but I fought anyway. Because fear is not the enemy, giving up is. Thane nodded slowly. You are wise beyond your years. The galaxy will hear of this day, of this battle, of you, General Han Jiwoo, the Emperor Killer, the one who stood alone and won. He saluted. A Valthor military salute, fist to chest. You have my respect. You have earned it. The transmission ended. The remaining ships turned and left. Within the hour, the sky was empty. The fleet was gone. Hanul 7 was free. The city erupted in celebration. Soldiers cheered. Civilians poured into the streets. They had survived. Against impossible odds. Against an empire. They had won. But Jiwoo did not celebrate. She stood in the plaza, looking at Krell's body. Around her, crews were already working, cleaning, repairing, counting the dead. The battle had cost them 3,000 soldiers killed, 2,000 wounded. Parts of the city were destroyed. It would take years to rebuild. Minyo approached cautiously. General, the people want to see you. They want to thank you. Later, Jiwoo said. First, we honor our dead. Every soldier who fell today. They are the real heroes, not me. You killed an emperor. I got lucky. I had one chance and I took it. But those soldiers fought for hours, held the line, gave everything. They deserve the glory. Not me. Yuna joined them. She carried a datapad. General, reports coming in from across the galaxy. The news is spreading. Already 3 Valthor-occupied planets have risen in rebellion. They saw what happened here. They are inspired. They believe they can win now too. Jiwoo closed her eyes. More war. More death. But also hope. Also freedom. Send them our tactical data. Everything we learned. How we prepared. How we fought. Help them. Already done. Also, Earth sent a message. The Military Council wants to speak with you. They want to make you a system commander, give you authority over multiple worlds. Tell them I am honored. But I need to stay here. Hanul 7 needs me. The rebuilding will be hard, and others will come. Thane was right. The Empire will not forget this. Then we prepare, Yuna said. Again, we make ourselves stronger. We build better defenses. We train more soldiers, and when they come, we will be ready. Jiwoo looked at her friend, then at Minho, then at the city around them. Damaged but standing, beaten but not broken. Yes, we prepare, but we also live, we build, we grow. We show the galaxy that humans are not just warriors. We are builders, creators. We fight when we must, but we live when we can. That night, Jiwoo finally allowed herself to rest. She sat alone in her quarters, the same room where the Phantom Triad had tried to kill her. It felt like years ago. But it was only days. So much had changed. The galaxy had changed. She looked at the knife she had used to kill Krell, still stained with his green blood. She should clean it, should put it away. But she left it on the desk. A reminder of what she had done, of what might come. Tomorrow the work would begin, rebuilding, preparing. But tonight she allowed herself one moment, one breath. She had done it. She had faced an empire, faced an emperor, and she had won. The cost was high. The future was uncertain. More battles would come, more enemies, but tonight Hanul 7 was free, and that was enough. 3 weeks after the battle, the galaxy was a different place. The Valthor Empire was in chaos. With Emperor Krell dead, dozens of warlords fought for control. Ships that once worked together now fired on each other. Planets that suffered under Valthor rule saw their chance and rebelled. The Empire was tearing itself apart. General Han Jiwoo watched the reports from her rebuilt office. Every day brought news of another uprising, another victory, another world freed. It started on Hanul 7, but now it was spreading like fire across the stars. The rebellion had begun. Commander Kim Yuna entered with more data. General, another message from the Telin system. They successfully drove out the Valthor garrison. 15 planets have now declared independence. They are calling it the Liberation Wave, and they are all using your tactics. Jiwoo nodded. Good. Send them supplies if we can spare them. Medical equipment, weapons, whatever they need. Already arranged. Also, there is someone here to see you. Says it is urgent. A figure entered the office, tall, gray skin, forearms. For a moment, Jiwoo's hand went to her weapon. Then she stopped. This was not a threat. This was a Valthor, but not a soldier, a civilian. Wearing simple clothes, looking nervous. General Jiwoo, the visitor said. His voice was rough, uncertain. My name is Vorn. I was a worker in the Empire. A builder. Not a warrior. I come with a message. From others like me. Speak, Jiwoo said. She remained alert, but curious. Many Valthor do not support what Krell did. We are tired of war, tired of conquest. We want peace. We want to trade, to build. But Krell forced us, made us serve his war machine. When you killed him, you freed us too. Not just humans, all of us who suffered under his rule. Jiwoo studied him carefully. What do you want? Help. Guidance. You showed the galaxy how to fight tyranny. Now we need you to show us how to build peace. There are thousands of us. Spread across the Empire, workers, engineers, farmers. We want to join the rebellion. Not as soldiers. As builders. We want to help create something better. It was not what Jiwoo expected. She had prepared for more battles. More enemies. Not for peace. Not for allies from the enemy's own people. She looked at Yuna. Her friend nodded slightly. Trust but verify. I will help you, Jiwoo said finally. But understand this. If you betray us, if this is a trick, I will show no mercy. We have fought too hard to be fooled now. Vorn bowed deeply. I understand. And I thank you. You have given us hope, something we have not had in a very long time. Over the following weeks, more Valthor civilians arrived. They brought skills, knowledge, technology. They helped rebuild the damaged cities on Hanul 7. They shared information about the Empire's weaknesses. They proved their loyalty through action. Not everyone trusted them, but Jiwoo did. She understood that not all Valthor were warriors. Not all were evil. Many were just people trying to survive. Lieutenant Park Minho struggled with this. General, how can you trust them? They are the enemy. They were the enemy, Jiwoo corrected. Now they are refugees. People seeking a better life. We fought for freedom. That includes the freedom for others to choose their own path. Even former enemies, but what if they turn on us? Then we deal with it. But I will not condemn an entire people because of one tyrant. That would make us no better than Krell. The real test came when a Valthor warship appeared in orbit. For a moment, everyone prepared for battle. Weapons charged, fighters launched. But the ship sent a message immediately. No hostility, no threats. A request to land. The ship's commander was Thane, the same admiral who had spoken to Jiwoo after Krell's death. He came down alone, unarmed. He walked into Jiwoo's office like a man carrying a great weight. General, he said, I have come to ask something difficult. I am listening. The Empire is broken. There is no central command anymore. Just warlords fighting each other. Millions are dying. Not soldiers, civilians, innocents caught in the crossfire. It needs to end. But it will not end without leadership. Without someone strong enough to unite the factions. What are you asking? Thane took a deep breath. I am asking you to come to the Valthor homeworld. To meet with the remaining commanders. To help us find peace. Many respect you. They saw what you did. How you fought. How you won. They will listen to you. You could end this war. Save millions of lives. Jiwoo was silent. This was unexpected. Dangerous. The Valthor homeworld was deep in enemy territory. Going there could be a trap. Could be suicide. But it could also be the chance to end the war once and for all. Yuna was against it immediately. No, absolutely not. This is too risky. You are too valuable to risk on a diplomatic mission. She is right, Minho agreed. Let someone else go. Send diplomats. Send negotiators, but not you. But Captain Lee Daeho spoke up. Actually, General, you have to go. Nobody else has the respect. Nobody else killed an emperor. If you send others, they will be ignored. Or worse. But if you go yourself, you have a chance. A real chance, Major Choi Hyeri added quietly. The galaxy is watching, General. What you do next will define humanity for generations. We can be conquerors, or we can be peacemakers. The choice is ours. Jiwoo thought for a long time. Finally, she looked at Thane. If I come, I bring my own security. My own ship. My own terms. Agreed. Anything you want. Just come, please. The journey to the Valthor homeworld took 5 days. Jiwoo traveled on a human cruiser escorted by 4 fighters. Thane's ship flew alongside as guarantee. The crew was nervous. They were flying into the heart of the Empire that tried to destroy them, but they trusted Jiwoo. If she said go, they went. The Valthor homeworld was beautiful. 3 moons. Blue oceans. Cities that glowed at night, but it was also scarred. Orbital debris from recent battles. Damaged ships floating dead in space. The signs of civil war. They landed at the capital, a massive city built around a mountain. At the peak was the Imperial Palace, where Krell once ruled. Now it was empty, a symbol of fallen power. The meeting was held in the Great Council chamber. 50 Valthor commanders gathered. Some were warlords who wanted power. Some were admirals seeking order. Some were planetary governors desperate for peace. They argued, shouted, threatened each other. The Empire was eating itself alive. Then Jiwoo entered. The room fell silent. Every eye turned to her. This small human. This general who had done the impossible. Who had killed their emperor. Who had shattered their fleet. She walked to the center of the chamber. Stood alone, unarmed, unafraid. I am General Han Jiwoo, she said. Her voice echoed in the huge room. You asked me to come. I am here, not as a conqueror. Not as an enemy. As someone who wants the killing to stop. A warlord stood, large, angry. Why should we listen to you? You are human. You destroyed our emperor. You caused this chaos? No, Jiwoo said firmly. Krell caused this chaos. He built an empire on fear and death. He conquered without mercy. He crushed anyone who opposed him. That is not strength. That is tyranny. And tyranny always falls, always. I just helped it fall faster. Another commander spoke, older, wiser. What do you propose? Peace, real peace. Not surrender. Not submission, partnership, trade, cooperation. The galaxy is big enough for all of us. We do not need to fight over every planet, every resource. We can build together instead of destroying each other. Impossible, said another. We are too different. Too much history. Too much blood, Jiwoo smiled sadly. 3 weeks ago you said it was impossible for a human to kill your emperor. I proved you wrong. Give me a chance to prove you wrong again. For hours they debated, argued, negotiated. Jiwoo listened, offered solutions, compromised. She was not trying to dominate. She was trying to mediate, to find common ground. It was harder than any battle, more exhausting than any fight. But slowly, gradually, progress happened. By dawn, they had an agreement. Not perfect, not complete, but a start. A ceasefire, open borders for trade, prisoner exchanges, war crimes tribunals, a new council to govern, representatives from multiple species, including humans, including Valthor, including others who had suffered under the Empire. The galaxy would change. Not overnight, not easily, but it would change. Thane walked Jiwoo to her ship. You did it. I did not think it was possible. But you did it. We did it, Jiwoo corrected. You brought me here. You convinced your people to listen. This was not just me. Still, you are remarkable. Your people are lucky to have you. I am lucky to have them. I did not fight alone. None of us did. That is what Krell never understood. Power is not about one person. It is about all of us. Together. Jiwoo returned to Hanul 7 a hero, not just to humans, but to millions across the galaxy. She had shown that courage could defeat tyranny, that one person could make a difference, that peace was possible even after terrible war. The rebuilding continued, not just on one planet, but across hundreds. Former enemies became partners. Former battlefields became markets. It was not easy. There were setbacks, conflicts, challenges, but the direction was clear. Forward. Together. Years later, they built a new monument in the capital. Not of a soldier standing over a defeated enemy, but of two figures, human and Valthor, standing side by side, looking toward the future. At the base were words in every language. Here stands hope. Here stands unity. Here stands tomorrow. General Han Jiwoo stood before the monument on the anniversary of the battle. She was older now. Gray touched her hair. New scars marked her skin, but her eyes still burned with that same fire.